Hello, welcome to our SAP ERP new user training. Now, this training is of general scope. It therefore means that everybody that wants to learn the SAP ERP must go through this training, all right, before you go to other levels where you specialize in your business process or the area of your specialty or domain experience. Now, like as I said earlier, more than 60% of those that come to us for training came after they have lost amazing job opportunities, sometimes one, sometimes several job opportunities. We have had very touching stories, and I used to wonder, why are professionals not being proactive to get this skill before it makes them lose such opportunities? All right, so that is why we have organized this free training, a walkthrough that would, introduce you to the SAP ERP system. And I want you to stay to the end because there are so many things you are going to learn, especially at the end part of this, and we're going to be giving you some nice offers. All right, so the outline is scoped into two sessions. I have the introduction, and then the second session is the practical session where we would have to log on to the SAP ERP system and do some navigation. So what is ERP? Many people don't know the meaning of ERP. ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. It is a software system that is used by organizations to automate, integrate, and optimize their business processes. This means that they no longer use paperwork. All right, so all their business processes are automated. They now do those transactions online on using computers and electronic devices, and then these whole processes are integrated. They are sales, purchasing, HR, finance, all integrated. And then of course it makes work easier, faster, thereby optimizing their business processes. This implies that the critical business processes of these organizations run on their ERP system. And that is why you see people, no matter how qualified they are and experienced they are, when you go to these organizations that I'm going to be mentioning some of the organizations. You know many of them later on in this training. All right, so you go to these organizations, and with all your qualifications and experience, they still drop you. Why? Because the ERP is their ecosystem. That is where they run their critical business processes. All the processes from sales, finance, purchasing, inventory management, warehouse management, logistics, manufacturing or production, plant maintenance, quality management, human resources, etc. are all automated, integrated, and optimized. So where would you want to work in such environment when you don't have this skill? And there are so many organizations that are running on ERP today. So why learn SAP ERP business processes? The digital shift and alignment. Career requirements in organizations have changed because of the accelerated digital alignment caused by the COVID-19 disruption. More and more organizations are now require ERP to power their businesses, or their business from any location. Interestingly, but not surprisingly, businesses are reevaluating their work processes in light of this crisis. The urgent need to work digitally is causing them to prioritize digital transformation. This implies that if by now you have not aligned your career with digital skills, especially ERP, you will soon be unattractive in the workplace, and this is reality. Many people have lost jobs because they don't have relevant skills for today's job. Their skills are no longer competitive. You have to be competitive. You have to be up to your game. Earning big salary is not joke. You must invest in yourself. You must put value in yourself. Now, today's business environment has migrated or has shifted into a new ecosystem, which is the ERP. Currently, the demand for ERP solution has increased because of the following reasons. The work from home. People now work from home. So we now have an hybrid work environment. All right, where some work remotely and some work on site. All right, the need for increased business process visibility. Now organizations want to really see what is happening real time reports. To cut down on expenditure, cut down on waste, innovation, especially at this time of crisis. So, where do you want to work if you don't have such a skill? The benefits of acquiring ERP skill: you are exposed to the global best practice on enterprise business processes. You become compliant with the current trend in required skill set for today's work environment. I cannot overemphasize that. The work ecosystem, the business ecosystem has changed. It is now ERP. Every other thing runs on ERP. A strategy to become more relevant in your organization if they currently use any ERP solution. One of the benefits is that you become an indispensable asset to your organization if they currently use SAP ERP or any other ERP. This skill will give you an edge in the labor marketplace and during interviews. We have had several people who maybe ordinarily they wouldn't have qualified for the job position, but because they had this skill, they were selected. It gives you the leverage to negotiate for a good salary, especially when you have this skill set of a super user or a consultant. All right, because you become a utility employee to that organization. The SAP solution consultant skill is a proof against job insecurity, because as a SAP consultant, you can work independently. You can work for an organization that implements SAP or ERP. You can work for organizations that use the solution, or you can decide to work on your own and provide solutions, provide support for organizations. So there is no issue, and the pay is good. The pay is massive, is big. Okay. Now the SAP ERP has two major areas or components: the functional and the technical. All right. So let's look at the technical. Technical has to do with IT, information technology. Now under that area you have the basis, you have the ABAP. Now the basis are the system administrators. They are those who manage the system, the server. They also manage your database and things like that. They give you things authorizations and rights, access. They are the ones that are responsible. Then you have the ABAP. ABAP are programmers, all right, those who code and configure the system, customize the system. Then on the other side is the functional area, the business area. All right, you have financial accounting module, you have control or management accounting, you have human capital management or HR, or that's human resources. You have materials management, under where you have procurement, or purchasing, inventory management. You have sales and distribution. You have quality management. You have production planning, warehouse management, logistics execution, plant maintenance for engineers, and so on. All right. So these are two major areas of the ERP system. Now about SAP ERP. SAP is a company. All right, it's a company. It's a German company, and they've been around since 1972, and the SAP has the most robust and best ERP software solution in the market. SAP has the largest ERP market share worldwide. That means most organizations use ERP, or that will use ERP, use SAP ERP. SAP ERP has two major areas, the functional and the technical area, and we'll look at that again further in this training. Okay, so SAP, most organizations run on SAP. The top global 2000 Forbes list companies, or rather, the 91% of Forbes Global 2000 are SAP customers, as in those that made the top 2000 lists of organizations worldwide. All right, 208 of the 250 top retailers, as in companies, Amazon and the rest of them in the world, run on SAP solutions. 41,100 plus consumer product companies in 134 countries are innovating with SAP solutions. 46 of the 50 world's safest banks run on SAP solutions. 8 out of 8 of the most innovative automotive companies in the world run on SAP solutions. So SAP is chief when it comes to ERP solutions, intelligent ERP solutions embedded with artificial intelligence, machine learning, language, and other new technologies that are coming up. All right, what about Nigeria, our local environment? Zocode is a company in Nigeria. Now, some companies that run on SAP ERP in Nigeria. In Nigeria, more than 1,000 companies already run their critical business processes on SAP ERP. Some of them, you look at this list like Mobil, Total, MRS, Nestle, Guinness, Lafarge, OSAF, Coca-Cola, Cadbury, UAC, just name them. These are just some of them, few of them. There are many. More than 1,000. More than 1,000, the companies All right. So they run their critical business processes on the SAP ERP. So if you don't have the skill, what do you want to go do there? What do you want to go do there? But again, you can get a job in these organizations when you have this skill. It can give you a leverage. It's a sure leverage. What we have seen is a sure leverage. It's a sure strategy. If you want to gain that traction, gain that advantage to work in these kind of organizations and get good money. All right, so let's look at some of the SAP ERP modules. All right, so about SAP ERP modules. Okay, the first one is the SAP ERP Materials Management or module. SAP ERP Materials Management module is the backbone of the supply chain in organizations. And the reason why we're doing this is because people always call in to ask questions. They don't know anything about it and they just want to be guided. And we guide them on how to choose the particular module or business process. All right. So the materials management is the core for supply chain. It is used to ensure the availability of material items at the right time and right price. SAP ERP comprises of the following business processes: purchasing, inventory management, logistics invoice verification, physical inventory, MRP. All right, these are some of the major business processes within the materials management. Now, this particular module is for who? Supply chain professionals. If you are a supply chain professional, this is for you. If you are a procurement professional, this is for you. If you are a purchasing professional, this is for you. If you are into inventory management or store management, this is for you. Or anyone who aspires to build their career in any of the above areas. All right. So those guys who are in a supply chain, or you're doing your supply chain certification and all that, you need this. Okay, so now we'll look at the next one. SAP ERP Financial Accounting is coded FI, the module. Now, SAP ERP Financial Accounting module powers and control all financial transactions in organizations. The combination of SAP ERP Financial Accounting and Management Accounting or control is called FICO. All right. So when you want to combine control and financial accounting, control is internal accounting. Okay, so that will have to do with things like cost centers, profitability analysis, and all that. You want to check how your organizations, the rate at which you want to track the cost of operations and things like that. Okay, so control can handle that. So you can do your training under financial accounting alone, or you can combine financial accounting and control. That's FICO. Okay, the SAP Financial Accounting FI has some of the following business processes: account payable processes, account receivable processes, general ledger postings, and many more. For who? Accountants, auditors, those who in financial services, and anyone who aspire to build their career in any of the above career area. Now, those who are doing ICANN, and other accounting professional courses, and you don't know how to use SAP ERP, you better do. You need it. Otherwise, how are you going to work in these environments where there are critical financial accounting processes run on the SAP ERP? Okay, so the next one is the SAP ERP Plant Maintenance or PM module. The SAP ERP Plant Maintenance module is used to manage the planning, maintenance, and repair of organizations' assets, equipment, functional locations, building, machines, etc. The SAP ERP Plant PM or Plant Maintenance include the following: planning, maintenance, and repair processes, breakdown, corrective, preventive maintenance, equipment installation and dismantling processes, functional location planning, etc. And so many, work orders, notifications, and all that. For who? Engineers, technicians, asset managers, anyone who aspires to build their career in any of the above career areas. All right. Most of your oil and gas companies, they use this. Manufacturing companies, production companies, they use it to maintain their assets. SAP ERP Human Capital Management, HCM or HR module. The SAP ERP Human Capital Management is an important module in SAP. It is also known as SAP Human Resources Management System or SAP Human Resources. SAP ERP HCM or HR is used to automate the management of employee from hire to fire and all other functions including payroll. It covers processes for organization management, personnel administration, time management, payroll, travel management, etc., and so many other. Now, all these things are integrated. All right. So, talent hunters, HR professionals, admin and personnel managers, and anyone that aspires to, to build their career in that part, you need this. You need this. You need it. You need it now. All right. So, sales and distribution. SAP ERP Sales and Distribution module. Now, the SAP ERP Sales and Distribution is part of the supply chain process and automates the sales order to cash process. The SAP ERP SD or Sales and Distribution covers processes like quotation, sales, outbound delivery, contract management, and billing. Right, for sales and marketing professionals, supply chain professionals, and anyone who aspires to build their career in any of the above career area. Then other SAP ERP modules are SAP ERP Quality Management, which deals with the processes of carrying quality checks. SAP ERP Production Planning deals with management of production processes, both product and labor. SAP ERP Financial Accounting and Control, FICO, that I talked about before. All right, so it deals with financial transactions and data with internal accounting. SAP ERP Warehouse Management deals with storage management of materials. SAP ERP Logistics Execution handles movement of goods from storage to delivery and transportation planning, and so many other things in that around that. Then SAP Business Intelligence, is used for analyzing data and convert the same to valuable information for decision making. There's also SAP Project Management and so many other modules that are not mentioned here, functional modules. Okay, for technical modules, you have the SAP Basis. Okay, you have SAP ABAP, and then again SAP Business Intelligence. Now, Business Intelligence is in between. It's in between. It's a cross-functional module. All right. So you have it in the functional side. You have it in the technical side. Now, the SAP ERP skill levels. This particular training is the new user training and is level 1. As I told you earlier on, is actually $55, which is 20,000 naira Nigerian currency. Now, this is the preliminary training level for all new users of the SAP ERP system. It covers the introductory content and user navigation. We are running this training for free now. Then you have the SAP ERP end user business process training. Now, this, unlike the first level, the new user training, this is a more specific. It is business process specific, or will I say domain specific. All right. Now, this training is for end users who will be responsible for the day-to-day business transactions in an organization. It is business process specific. For instance, financial accounting business process for accountants, auditors, sales and distribution business process for sales, marketing, supply chain personnel, procurement business process for buyers, purchasing, inventory or store personnel, human resources for HR, admin personnel, plant maintenance for repair and maintenance engineers, asset maintenance personnel, technicians. Then logistics execution, warehouse management, quality management for their respective personnel. All right, so this becomes more specific. Okay, so the training is a duration, it has a duration of 2 days with a 1 month free SAP ERP server access. And of course, in this training, you'll be issued a certificate of training indicating that we trained you. All right, and then we are giving you free access. Now, SAP as a company, they provide access for you. They charge you $109 per month, but we would give that access to you for free for 1 month. Okay, why? Because we want you to be good at it. We want you to be good at it because sometimes we make recommendations and we want you to be good at it. All right, so now for the level 3 is the super user training. The super user training, these are for people who want to really, further differentiate themselves. Okay, now this training is a more advanced level. Super users primarily give support to the business process apart from their role as end users, because the super user can also be an end user. All right, the super user can work as an end user. He has all the skill of the end user and more. They can train end users, help end users resolve business process issues, and can create or modify master records. All right, so they have supervisory skill. Okay, so they can actually supervise. They can be key business process owners. All right, so this gives you a kind of more advantage. There is no organization that can maybe they are downsizing that would downsize a good super user. That would be, I don't think it can. Well, anything is possible, but this is something that normally will not happen. All right, the SAP super user courses are sales and distribution super user, materials management super user, plant maintenance super user, and others. Okay, so like as I said, the super user would be trained, would have the course content of the end user and more. All right, so the training duration is 3 days with 2 months free SAP ERP server access and a certificate of training. Now, level 4, this one is the Ogbonge, the big boy. All right, now the solution consultant training. Now, this training is for those who want to build their career as SAP solution consultants. SAP solution consultants are one of the highest paid professionals in the world. All right, as SAP solution consultant, you can advise or recommend and implement SAP business process with best practice. You can customize functional processes, train super users and end users. You can also train consultants at a point. You will be able to give support to organizations that run on SAP ERP. You have a wider horizon of job opportunities. Why? Because you can work as an end user, you can work as a super user or as a consultant in organizations that run on SAP, or you can work as a consultant with organizations that implement SAP, or you can work as an independent consultant. This training also is certification training. That means you can further sit for the SAP Global Certification exam and get certified. Now, for those of you who are planning to travel to Canada, relocate to the UK, to the US, my candid advice is this: get this skill, because it will make you a king over there. You can ask from your friends or relations who are in those countries. It will make you a king over there. All right, so you don't travel and begin to hustle and do the kind of jobs that you wouldn't even do in your native country. You travel, and you travel like as a professional. You have something to offer. All right, so for those who you want to travel out of the country to you want to relocate to maybe South Africa, you want to relocate to Europe, you want to relocate to the United States of America, to Canada. Get this skill, get it. All right. The training duration is 8 days with 3 months free SAP ERP software access. You also join our on-demand SAP Implementation project to accelerate your implementation project experience. That is an on-demand. It's actually based on requirements. Okay, so just before I go ahead, there are several. I don't know if some of you here might not be following Zocode, so I would want you to follow Zocode on LinkedIn now. Go to your LinkedIn and follow Zocode, because we from time to time we have several jobs. Okay, like for instance, if you go to Zocode a page on LinkedIn currently, there are openings for Shell. Shell has several positions with SAP requirements. Schneider Electric, and so many Dangote. We post jobs there, job openings. So take advantage of it. Go to our page. Just type on LinkedIn, type Zocode Limited, and yeah, let's see that. Let's see. As I said on LinkedIn, this is what happened to this LinkedIn page? Has it expired? All right, so this is Zocode page. So you see that we have openings. So you see job title. This one is invoice officer. This is senior account officer Michael Page. So you go to their website now. It's open. Chief Financial Officer. This is Dangote, General Manager, Quality Assurance, Research and Development, Group Finance Manager, and all these jobs you are seeing have SAP requirements. Accounting and Reporting Manager, General Manager. Okay, this is Dangote. This is Julius Berger, Junior Commercial Project Manager. This is Deloitte, Consulting Enterprise Technology and Performance. So you want to work in a good organization. You want to work where you get paid well. Go get your SAP skill. Get your SAP skill. So there are many. You know, there's a Shell. Shell is recruiting currently. There are many. Why is my system hanging? These are organizations. So you can go to our page now on LinkedIn, Zocode Limited, and check out opportunities. You might just have something for you. All right. This is Shell, contract specialist. This is Shell. If you click on it, now how do you access all these things? You click on the link. You see click to apply. So you click on the link. When you click on the link, it's going to take you to where the job details are, so that you can apply. So to take you to where the job details, where you can apply. So this is Shell website. All right, you see it here, Shell website. So you have all the job openings here. Okay, so these are opportunities that we can take advantage of. All right. Now, recent business trends favoring the ERP growth, because the ERP will continue to grow. More and more organizations will continue to buy into the using of ERP. Most large companies and even medium organizations are attempting to cut in-house costs or in-house development costs, improve customer service, and speed product to market by reorganizing their existing business processes. So as long as organizations will continue to have this need to cut down costs, improve customer service, speed products to market, reorganize their business processes, re-engineer their business processes, all right, they would always need ERP. Globalization, as businesses are becoming more global in scope, people are demanding packaged corporate applications that are available in variety of languages with support for multiple currencies. All right, so the ERP system gives you automatic conversion of your currencies, different languages. Then integration, powerful. As more and more companies are going for business process reengineering, BPR, there is increase in demand for integrated solution, e.g., different applications sharing a common database and thus enabling data definition and business rules to be applied across an entire organization with the facility of doing modification at one location only. So with the ERP system, if I want to, maybe as a general manager or a regional manager, and I want to apply a certain maybe purchasing or sales policy, I don't need to move from one branch to another branch. I can implement it from one point, make the modification from one point, implement that business rule from one point, and it would be executed across board. All right, so these are some of the things that you have that would continually support the adoption and the growth of the ERP. All right, so we are done with the introduction, and now we want to do the practicals. We want to look into the SAP system. All right, now, like as I said, if you stay to the end, we're going to give you some amazing offers that you will like. You need to get this skill now. You need a good job. You need to there are people who are relying on you. You cannot continue to give excuses. You can get a good job. That is what I'm saying. You can get a good job. You can get paid well. You have all the skills, you have all the qualification and experience. You need to scale up now. SAP ERP Skill is a scale up leverage that can land you a good job with your experience and your qualifications. All right, so let's look at the navigation. Logging on to the SAP ERP system. So let's look at that first. Something that I need to show you here first before we log on is that two things that we need to I need to explain here. One is the SAP GUI and the other is the SAP logon. All right, now you can access SAP systems using front-end program with a variety of designs. Almost all SAP components are, however, accessible using the general front-end program, the SAP Graphical User Interface, or SAP GUI. Several variants of the SAP GUI are available. These variants are all graphically equivalent, all right, but adapted for use in different environments. So you have that for Windows, you have that for Mac, and so on. Okay, so but just what I want to show you now, if you see this design, this is version 750. This is the current design. Now those who are many organizations, if for instance you go for an interview and now maybe I show you only this and then you go for an interview and you still see many organizations still use the old version of the icon, the logon icon, you know, and you don't know your way around it. You know, say, this is not what they showed me. All right, so this is those that are using version 10 to version 710 to version 740 have this design. Why this is 750? Okay, then this is 710. You can see here that is version 710. This is a higher version. This is version 750, and most recent versions, version 730, 740, have this same look. Okay, so I need to show you that. Now, when you on your desktop, you either see this shortcut or this shortcut. So either of them you see, you just double click on it. When you double click on it, it will take you to this environment to pop up this SAP logon pad. The SAP GUI program connects the front-end computer with a specific SAP system. To start the SAP GUI, SAP provides another program, the SAP logon. Alright, so now when you get to the logon, you would now select the particular system you want to log on to. Now if you see here, you see that this blue mark, alright, shows the system that was selected. In this case again, this blue mark shows the system that is selected. Now it depends on the organization and the user. Depends on the user. Then you may not really have up to this number of systems. Most times just one or two systems for you to log on to. Okay. So when you double click on that, it brings you to this environment. This is the SAP GUI environment. All right, and those who use the older GUI may not have this kind of design. Okay, so in this place you input your client number, you input your username and your password. The logon language, if you are using English, if you are not using English, once the logon language is activated, you can change and input the language that you want, and then you click on this green icon with a good sign. All right, this is the enter icon. So when you click on it or you press enter on your keyboard, the system will log you into the SAP ERP environment. Okay, so when the system logs into the SAP, let's look at that now. Let's look at that. So once my SAP logon is up, okay, so this is my SAP logon. So I can select this system, I can double click on it, or I can select it and click log on. So once I do that, it brings me to the SAP environment. So this is the SAP software. Okay, now my client number is entered, and then we need to input my username and password. So after I've imputed my username and password, I'll click on enter. All right, I can click here, or I press enter on my keyboard. So when you log on to the SAP system, the first place you log on to is called the SAP Easy Access. You can say SAP Easy Access. Now it is very important that you note this. The first place you log on to is called the SAP Easy Access. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the functions of the 5 bars we have and how they aid in navigation. We have the first bar, which is the menu bar. Just a minute, let me maximize this. Okay, so this is the menu bar. It changes based on the transaction you are running. Okay, so it's the menu bar. That's where you have your menu, and so you can pick different functions from there. Okay, like if I want to open a new window, GUI window, we call it session. Okay, you can do that from here. Okay, so these are different menus. So the menu changes. Let me just do a demonstration of that so that you see. Now what I'm typing there is called a transaction code. I'm typing this transaction code in a command field. This is the command field, the one and only command field you have for navigation. All right, so what I just typed here is a transaction code to create a sales order. Okay, so when I click enter, I'm going to explain that later. So you see, create sales order initial screen. Now you see that the menu bar has changed. So this now carries what transactions are relevant for me in creating sales order, you know. So you see that's changed. So the menu bar changes based on your transaction. Now the next one is called the standard toolbar. This bar is the standard toolbar, just like as the name sounds, it is standard. It doesn't change. If you observe, you see that it didn't change from what we had on the SAP Easy Access. Okay, so the only thing that happens to the standard toolbar is that those icons or functions that are not relevant for a particular transaction will be grayed out. Alright, so you see that the save icon here is grayed out, the print icon here is grayed out, find is grayed out, page movement is grayed out. Okay, alright, so this icon is called the enter icon. It's used to enter, alright, to initiate or execute a command. But we also have an icon called execute icon. Not this one. This one is not the execute icon. We have one for execute icon, like when you want to execute a report and things like that. Okay, so the next one here is the command field, like I talked about before. Okay, the command field is where you can input your transaction code and it will take you to the particular transaction you want to carry out. I'm going to explain more about your transaction code later on. Okay, Sometimes you can see that the command field is closed. All right, the command field is closed. So all you just need to do is to open it. That's when you start to use your transaction codes, though. Then the save icon. This is back. The back icon. If I want to go back, I'm going to use it. If I want to exit, if it's a transaction, this becomes my exit key. But on the SAP Easy Access, this would be to exit the SAP system. If I want to log off, okay, it becomes log off, to log off the SAP system. This is to cancel the transaction. All right, I can cancel the transaction with that icon. Okay, all these print, find, page movement. This is to a shortcut to create a new window. Okay, now I also want you to take note that unlike your browser, the SAP system allows a maximum of 6 windows. All right, 6 windows. We call them sessions, 6 sessions. A maximum of 6 sessions. So you can be running different transactions in the 6 sections, but it doesn't allow more than that. Okay, so let's go back to the, so I want to use the back key here, back icon, to go back to the Easy Access. All right, so back to the Easy Access menu. All right, so now you see that the back is grayed out, cancel is grayed out because they are not required here. Here, this has turned to log off. If I want to log off my SAP system, this is what I use to log off. If I click this now, it's going to log me off the SAP system. All right, so the next one is the title bar. Very important. You see here now, the title is showing me that I'm on the SAP Easy Access. Now, the title bar helps so much in navigation, in the sense that it gives you the description of what you are doing part time, and it is very, very, very important. Okay, now for instance, let me open another transaction. Okay, so now you can see that it's telling me create purchase order. So you can know already that what I want to do here is to create a purchase order. You see, so that is what the title bar would help you to do, telling you what you are doing, showing what you are doing. Okay, now I just went back. Now let me do another. Again, you can see that this is already a document displayed, and say this is document standard PO, and this is the number created by, you see. So it gives you a description of what you're doing part time. And then we have the next one, which is the application toolbar. The application toolbar is specific to a particular transaction. It brings shortcuts of functions that are available for that particular transaction. All right. Now, if I would let me use the sales order again. For instance, you see it has changed, and these are shortcuts for sales order. See, it has changed from what I have on my SAP Easy Access. Okay, so then the last one is at the bottom. That's the 5th one. It's called the status bar. All right, so the status bar is it gives you the status of your transaction. Now, if you took note, you see that when I was opening several transactions, it will show at the bottom. Now let's see this FS00, for instance. Now, if you look at the status here, you see that it showed that I was to open general ledger. GL stands for general ledger in financial accounting. All right. Let me do something. Say we want to do MMBE, for instance. So you see, for stock overview, so it gives you what they call it, status of your transaction. Now, if for instance VA01, okay, so if for instance I try to run this transaction to create a sales order, you see it has given me an error. It has given me an error. When it is red, red shows that it is an error, and once it is an error, it has to be fixed. Otherwise, the system will not proceed. Once it is an error, it has to be fixed. Otherwise, the system will not proceed. Okay, but if it is yellow is caution. It means it can caution you of the decision you want to make, and you can decide if you decide to want to go ahead, you just press enter again, and then it will continue to process. Then green is just for information. Okay, now let me further show you this. Now press enter. You see, sales area 1010x ZX does not exist. All right, so it gives you this error. It will print out the error for you, or if it is a caution, it will also print it out for you. Now, all these transactions I've been doing here, I can come to this place and effect such transactions too. Okay. So this is to create a purchase order, the same that I did earlier on. So it's just the same way you can, this is the transaction code ME21N that I typed here. When you type it here, it takes you direct to this transaction, create purchase order. The same thing with this, and they all have transaction codes. So do you need to know the transaction codes in your head? Yes, of course. As you begin to get familiar with the transactions, of course you would need to get used to the transaction codes, and so you don't need to drill down. You can just put your transaction code here and then go to the transaction directly. Okay, so those are the different bars and their function. Now, how do you create another way of avoiding to drill down is to create favorites. Before I go into favorites, let me just talk about the SAP menu. Okay, so on the SAP Easy Access, you have the SAP menu. On the SAP menu, you have several business functions or area. The three major areas are logistics, accounting, and human resources. And okay, maybe probably the fourth one, information systems. But these are the business areas. Okay. Now, if I open this initially, see under logistics, you have materials management, sales and disposal, logistics execution. Logistics execution covers planning, transportation planning, inbound deliveries and outbound deliveries using goods issue. Sales covers quotation, sales order contracts, billing, shipping and transportation, and so many. Credit management. Materials management covers purchasing, inventory management, logistics, invoice verification, physical inventory, MRP, service entry sheets, and the rest of them. Okay, now we have production planning, we have customer service, we have plant maintenance for engineers, we have quality management, and so on. Then under accounting, so now if you see that all these things are the core business processes in organizations. So the question is, if you don't know how to use this software, if you don't know how to run these business processes, how are you going to work in such organizations? That is why when you go for interviews, no matter your experience, no matter your qualifications, they still drop you. Many people who have attended our trainings, they lost amazing job opportunities. The thing is that you need to invest in yourself. You need to be competitive. You cannot work in organizations where they use these are all their core business processes. All their core business processes run on this platform. So how are you going to work there? So you need to be competitive. And that is why we are bringing this awareness to you. That is why we are showing you this. You see how the SAP system is, how what it entails, for the functions and all that, the different modules. This is for HR. This is your information system for all the different modules, strategic enterprise management. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that you need to invest in yourself. You need to be competitive. And one of the things we're going to do for you, because you are part of this training, all right? Because you are part of this training, if you want to book for the training immediately now, we're going to give you amazing discounts. Now, for the end user training is 60,000 naira. All right, we are giving you 50% discount on the end user training. 50% discount on the end user training. All right, the super user training, 50% discount if you are participating in this particular training now. For the benefit of you participating in this training, you are getting 50% discount. Now we also have recorded videos. All right, so if you want to get the training video only, now when you buy the training video, it's training, as in you're gonna see a step by step, as in everything done. All right, and then you will get a free access to the SAP software included in the package. As what I mean is that you get the video, all right, recorded video, and then you get a free access. Now for that, we are giving for the same cost, that the same end user training that costs 60,000 naira, we would give you, because you are in this training now, you are going to pay now, we will give you for 12,000 naira. 12,000 naira for the training video and free access. We're going to give you free access so that you can practice. All right. So if you want that, you can click immediately now. Click on the links. The link is around the video, so you can click there, all right, and book. Either you are paying for the video now, all right, you're paying for the video for a video. You see video for purchasing. That's the purchasing business process, the inventory business process, the procure to pay business process. Now the procurement business process covers both purchasing, inventory management, and logistics invoice verification. All right. Now everything you get it for 12,000 naira if you are paying now. Then for plant maintenance, you have the notification process and how you can convert notifications into work orders. All right, you're getting that now for 12,000 naira. If you want, if it is for financial accounting, you get the walkthrough for account receivables, account payables, transactions, and you get it for 12,000 naira. All this with a free access to the software for you to practice. All right. But then, if you want to participate in the live training, program, all right, you so instead of 60,000 naira for the end user training, you get 50% discount. All right. So instead of 60,000 naira, you'll be paying 30,000 naira if you are participating in this training now. All right. For the super user, instead of 150,000 naira, you are paying 75,000 naira if you are paying immediately, based on the fact that you are participating in this training. So that is what we are trying to do for you. You can't get this kind of price anywhere. You can't get it anywhere, even the videos. All right. So just go ahead now and register. Do your registration and take benefit of this, because you need this. You need this. Look at, they are all there, all the critical business processes. That is why they drop you. You can't continue to earn small monies. You need to work with good organizations, and this gives you a leverage. Okay, so let's look at let me open this document, this transaction, create purchase requisition, because everybody creates is required to know how to create a purchase requisition, because one way or the other you probably would have a purchasing need, that you want the purchasing department, to purchase for you or for your department or for your group or your team. All right, so this is a purchasing requisition document. All right, so let me just see. All right, so okay, now you see that this document, for instance, this is yellow. Now yellow is a caution. It's telling me that the delivery date, the delivery is that there's an issue with the delivery date that is chosen here. All right, that the next work day is 11/02/2020, which means today is already out of it. The delivery cannot take place again today. It has to be tomorrow. All right, and then you can see that this particular document is blocked, and it has to be released by the manager. And the manager might not be in the same location with me, so the manager can log on to this system wherever he is and do the approval. Today people work from home. We have hybrid environment, work environment today. So you see that this gives me the caution. So I just wanted to show you that. Then another thing that you need to know is the number assignment. Number assignment is that when a user is required to input numbers for a document directly like this, it's called external number assignment. All right, it's called external number assignment. But when you have to allow the system to generate a number for you is called internal number assignment. It's called what? Internal number assignment. Then you can I want to show you something that is very important on how to search for items. Now you can see that there is a small icon. There's a small icon around here. There's a small icon around here. So any field where you see icons around the corner, it means that it's searchable, as in you have a list. Okay. Now not all of them have that. Now if you look at this field, it doesn't have. So this field is just for you to input. You can type in something. We can type in here, but then you can search. You see. Now this is one thing I want to show you. See at this corner here of your search box, you always see this search criteria. Now you see these are many search criteria. So most of all these things, they have different search criteria. All right. So you use the search criteria to search for the item that you're looking for. Like currently, this one is plant material by description. I could change it to say material by material group. Material by material group. So it's asking me now to input the material group. Okay. Let me go to this area, and then you see again. You see. So it brings the search box, and then these are different search criteria. Alright, so based on what you're looking for, you should be able to pick a search criteria for it. It's very important you know this, how to use your search criteria. Okay, I will be going back, so I'll exit. No. Alright, so here again, if you want to open new sessions, you click on system and click new GUI. You see it will open a new session. Okay, now if you want to use a shortcut, this icon is the shortcut. You click on it, and remember I told you you cannot have more than 6 sessions open actively per user. Okay, how do you create favorites so that you don't have to go through all this? Peradventure you don't know your transaction codes. Okay, so favorites, you can select. Maybe you have a responsibility to always do invoice, so you can select it and say add to. You right click and say add to favorite, and so it will come to your favorite. That's one way. Another way is that you can click and drag and add it there. That's another way. All right, and of course you can delete the favorites. You can delete the favorites. Okay, so that's how you create your favorite. So with that, you don't need to be going through these drills. Okay, then the transaction codes. For the transaction codes, now most times with your new system you may not see these transaction codes. Under extra settings, it can be disabled. Say display, uncheck it. You see that the transaction codes no longer be there. So you see they're no longer there. So when you come in and you meet this, what you should do is to go to extra on your menu, click on settings, and then say display, select display technical names. Once you do that, your transaction code will show, because it is good you have your transaction codes so that you get used to them. All right, so once you get used to your transaction codes, you would not need to be, drilling through. Look at the way I'm drilling through. All right, so you're back. Okay, so that is how you get your transaction code. Now, if I open a transaction, and I want to use some transaction code shortcut to exit. All right, to exit, I use /n. If you use /n, the system will close that program and take you back to the easy access. You see. But if you want to just close that particular window, you use /i and click enter. The system would close it. If you want to exit your SAP system without having to, you have several windows open and you want to exit, you can use /NEND. The system will prompt you, say unsafe data will be lost. Do you want to log off? Once you click yes, it will log you off. All right. So those are some of the ways that you can, exit the SAP system. All right. I think I will need to round up here because I don't like this video to be too long. Okay. So like as I said earlier on, we are giving you massive discounts so that we can assist you to get this skill now. You need to get this skill now because you don't know the next job opportunity that is coming your way, and just 12,000 naira shouldn't stop you. So you can go for the video, the training videos. All right, 12,000 naira, and you get a free access to the software to practice, or you can register for our live training. Okay, so do that right now, and then some members of my team would meet with you, as in would communicate with you, and you get all the details that are required for either the training or for the live access. So make your payment now. This particular discount for those who are paying right now. So do that now. You need this training. You need it. You need to get a good job. It is a sure leverage that will give you that good job. All right. Thank you so much, and I hope to be of assistance to you more times. Bye.